Hey everyone, welcome to DKFC. That's right, DraftKings. We're talking football. We're talking the 2016 Euros, and oh, how exciting it is. I'm Wade McElwain, DK Sports Ambassador. Joining me, Jamie Hinks, DK staff writer, Andy Davies, Edo DALMONTE. Now, when you're playing DraftKings, right, you got 8 men to put together with a $50,000 budget. How do you put it together? Goalkeeper, defenders, midfielders, forwards, utilities. Who are you choosing and where are you putting it? So I'm going to ask these guys because they've got expert opinion. Maybe you're following them along. Maybe you just get angry at them and yell hurtful things. Or maybe you type it and send it in. We know who you are. Anyway, let's go through these guys and ask them. I want to ask them, hey, who's in goal? Let's start with Andy. Andy, goalie. Who do you got?
Wayne Hennessy.
Yeah!
Hey, gotta keep it down. You goes. You cannot spend. There's so much. It's the semi-finals. It's ridiculous to spend too much money on goalkeepers and defenders in the semi-finals because you've got some of Europe's best players to choose from further up the field. So don't go and blow your money on a goalkeeper. It's pointless. I go for Wayne Hennessy. He's going to be busy. And he's the cheapest one there is, 4.6 thousand, which still isn't that cheap.
Going off to Edo. Edo, you got want a little round Hennessy? What do you got going on?
Wayne Hennessy.
Oh yeah, a little sip. Here we go.
Yeah, 4,600. Ronaldo will have many shots in that game, no matter what will happen. I mean, a lot of them will be in the middle, and so they're all saves. That's what I love about DK is that a pathetic header from outside the box and is connected by the keeper is a shot. Well, normally it's a shot. So I like it, and I have Wales winning that game, or at least managing to keep the score down. So
there's a difference between those two things. All right, Jamie, who do you got in goal?
Manuel Neuer, 4,900, Germany. I think, in the same way that you're saying Ronaldo's going to have loads of shots, Paul Pogba loves shooting, Kingsley Coman loves shooting, Neuer's the best goalkeeper left in the tournament by miles and has 10 fantasy points per game so far, and they're going to win.
And he's only like 300 difference. You said 46 versus 49.
And Wayne Hennessy, you don't realise he's going to let in at least 2 free kicks over his head because he loves doing that. And Ronaldo has got to do it in one game, and it will be this one, I think. So.
All right, bold predictions. Ronaldo. Is someone going to choose him? I know what I'm choosing. Let's go through defenders. Jamie, defenders, who do you got?
I've gone big in defence. So Cedric Soares, Portugal, 4,600. He's performed really well since he came in for Virinha, 12.5 fantasy points per game. And he does exactly the same thing he does for Southampton, which is just cross all the time. And he also has good tackle numbers because, for one reason or another, I think Wales are going to need to attack in this game, so they're going to fall behind, so he'll get more chances to tackle. And Joshua Kimmich, 5,200 from Germany. As I said earlier, Iceland's fullbacks looked brilliant against France, and they're not particularly good. Kimmich has been quality so far, plus he's back in as a defender, so if they keep a clean sheet, he'll get another 3 points.
All right, nice. Cheap. Andy, who do you got there?
I've gone cheap. I've gone for a couple of defenders you find down the back of the couch. That's how cheap they are. I've spent a combined. I reckon Kimmich is probably worth more than both of my defenders put together. I've gone for James Chester, the Welsh wonder, at 3.4 thousand, averages 6.2 points a game, and alongside him, Schroden Mustafi of Germany, 3.1 thousand. Averages 5.3, but he played once before, and he got
5.3 points.
20 points. 20 points in his last ever game. And Hummels is injured, so you never know. He might play. And if he doesn't play, I'll sub him out beforehand for Ashley Williams or someone.
Hey, the beauty of DraftKings, you got to wait till last minute. Sometimes a sub, or else you could lose. Edo, let's go through your defenders. Who do you got?
Nick Taylor of Wales, 3,700.
Loved him in Duran.
Yeah, he was fabulous. And yeah, we were talking about Cedric, and that mistake he made against Poland was quite serious because there was a change of pace. He just completely lost it, and Grzycki provided an assist from that position for Lewandowski. So Taylor's actually one of Wales's better performers. I mean, against Russia, you saw him how well he played, and I love how Wales can very quickly get 3 passes in and send the fullback through, and that's often him. So at 3,700, I think he's a bargain. And yeah, Mustafi, 3,100, great pedigree. Used to be on Everton's books. Boy, do they regret that. Yeah, because he's probably going to come in, sub in for Hummels. When you think about the last time Germany managed to win, it was from a header from a central defender, Hummels himself. Mustafi is pretty decent in the air. I like that price, 3,100.
I think Everton regret more than that.
Such as employing Roberto Martinez and buying
Roberto
Romelu Lukaku.
Martinez.
Martinez, Lukaku.
Maybe Mustafi leaving was Martinez's fault.
Probably
That
was.
was his downfall.
100% was.
Even if
In his autobiography, that's what he's going to write.
There's Ronaldo there at 15 as well, I've heard.
yeah,
And
yeah,
Bale.
all of it.
And they're all with Martinez. Got rid of all of them.
Yeah.
Wow, many regrets. All right, hopefully you don't have your regrets when you go to midfielders. Midfielders, are you saving money? How are these guys saving money? Andy, how's your money? What do you got in your midfield? Are you saving for the big boys?
Yes.
Spend on.
Right, I've gone big. I'm going for a France win. So I've gone for Dimitri Payet, obviously. 9.7 thousand, averages 18 points a game. He's been, for me, arguably the best midfielder in the tournament. And we love him. We just pick him all the time. I bet you two haven't. But there we go. Alongside him, I've gone for Quaresma of Portugal. The thing is, right, you pick Portuguese players. It's like picking Suarez as well. Portugal play for 33% longer than any other team, right? So it's worth picking Quaresma because you might get about 45, 50 minutes just from coming on as substitute. And when he does come on, he turns the game, and he's arguably been Portugal's most influential player in the tournament. I think they're going to do well against Wales. I think they're going to win. So I've gone for Quaresma, and it's still cheap at 5.7 thousand, and he's got a teardrop tattoo.
Oh, love it.
What's
Get
not
that
to
in,
love?
did you get that in prison?
It's not to love.
Yeah, exactly. He's a killer. Edo, midfield.
Mesut Ozil, 7,700.
Pretty good price for Ozil,
Oh,
I
that's
think.
really cheap.
There's been a lot of price compression because it's the semis,
yeah.
which I'm actually quite a fan of. Even Payet, I think Payet's just over 10,000, but
Just below.
is it
Just
just
below.
below?
But still, for Ozil, for 7,700, that's a pretty good
Ozil's
value.
very, very cheap. It's-
Yeah, and also what I love is even without Gomez, just his passing and his running off the ball. That's always been one of his strong points. And this French defence is made for having people crisscrossing in front of him. He makes a run off the ball that no one sees. All of a sudden, he's either in the box or he's making that key assist. Since I don't trust this defence, I trust Mesut Ozil. Hopefully, he doesn't choke away another penalty. Thank you. So yeah, I think he's a really good price. My other guy is Paul Pogba at 7,100 because I do still see goals in this France-Germany game. And the way he's been playing of late, he loves to shoot, but he actually has pulled out those ridiculous shots. We saw one against Switzerland that clipped the bar that you went, what on earth was that?
Yeah,
That was
he's got a hard
spectacular.
shot.
Yeah, and he's slowly coming into this tournament. Maybe people saw him having a starring role from the beginning. That was usurped very fairly by Dimitri Payet. However, he is the kind of player who can make those special runs. And the thing about France is, unlike maybe all the other teams Germany have played, maybe Poland, but beyond that, they're the only team where every player is a danger man. Even Matuidi's passing now has got really good. If you watch the France-Germany friendly, which unfortunately was on the day of the awful attacks, Matuidi's pass to the wing to set up the goal, the second French goal, the Gignac header, was incredible. Outside of the foot, he doesn't normally have that technique. He's now getting back into stride. So all of his players are danger men. Pogba will find space. I think he'll score.
All right, Jamie, over to you. Midfield, did you save some money or spend some money?
Saving and spending.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Nice. Bring it on.
Dimitri Payet, I'm with Andy. 9,700 from France. Yeah, he's for exactly the same reasons Andy said. He does everything he does in the Premier League at exactly the same level and gets the same amount of points. He's averaging over 20 in the Euros. And he will just play his usual game. He has 4.2 key passes per game, which is the highest of any player left in the tournament. I think only De Bruyne had more than that when he was in the tournament. So, and 9,700 is cheap for Payet. He should be 11,000 on a usual slate because he scores that many points. And I've gone for Johnny Williams, Wales, 3,500. I think he's going to start him alongside Bale and then play Robson Kanu up front. He's a Palace player, and we've got the most players left out of any English side, which is 5, by the way. Only Bayern Munich have got more. And he's a great little player. He got 5 points in the one game he played, and he's only 3,000. He's one of the cheapest players left. It was hard to try and find anyone cheaper. I think Andy managed to get a few of his defenders. But,
You need to look a little bit harder down the back of that couch, Jamie.
but yeah, for a little man, he's very combative in midfield, and he plays for Palace, so why not? Yeah.
Well, there's a reason.
Got the most players left. It's apart from Bayern, and they're cheating because they all play for Germany. So
Oh,
we're
yes,
spreading it
those
across
cheating
teams.
Germans. All right, so of course now there are some big guys when you get into your forwards in this tournament. A lot of strikers available. Jamie shimmying beside me. Striker-wise, let's go over to Edo. Who you got in your forwards, Edo? Did you blow some of your big wad on this one? Because you spent some big money on your midfield.
Yeah, the beauty of the price compression here was because I saved a little bit in defence, I was able to then spend quite a lot in attack because Gareth Bale, 9,500, is there. And I'm really hoping this is his breakout game. I trust Chris Coleman, someone no one has ever said. No one has ever said. But yeah, I'm just thinking.
His wife doesn't.
No, I was going to mention as well. The only people who can trust him are Basque nightclub owners. They can trust that man to show up and party till it's 5 a.m. Oh, Chrissy babes. What I love about this Bale pick is, yeah, there's no Ramsey, so hopefully he'll take it all up on himself. And there's the Ronaldo rivalry. And yeah, Coleman's been able to changes various tactics according to who he's been playing. So yeah, more from Bale. It worked in qualifying. Yes, I know it was qualifying, but it worked against better teams like Belgium in qualifying. It worked against reasonable teams in qualifying. So why not what is still not a great Portugal defence? Pepe is an expert at getting red carded in semi-finals. So why not? We live in hope. And Antoine Griezmann, 9,300 because he's basically amazing. He is absolutely, I have no words except for he's absolutely incredible. And yeah, if he were to make the most of maybe a weak in German defence, the price I think is too good. He took me to 8th at one stage in the 200k strike. And it wasn't the 200k striker, but it was one of the DraftKings competitions. Humble brag. Yeah, he was so good against Iceland, so why not?
All right, Andy, what are you thinking about for your forwards? Who do you have? You're smiling, smirking. What do you got?
I've gone the same as Edo with Antoine Griezmann. I've picked him the last 2 games and he's been fantastic. So I'm brand loyalty. We'll call it brand loyalty. I'm sticking with the Griezmann brand. I think he's been best striker in the tournament by a mile. He's been
points,
fantastic.
4
Most
goals,
points. Yeah. You can't. And I agree with you. I think he's going to have some joy against the German defence. And like I said, this is the first time the German defence has come up against a centre forward of Griezmann's calibre. They've come up against Lewandowski, who was a fish, Carl Lafferty perhaps, but this is a proper centre forward. This is a blue chip, world class centre forward in Griezmann, and alongside him, as Edo has, I've gone with brand loyalty for Gareth Bale. Never a game has gone by where I've not picked him, and I will continue to do that. He's up against Ronaldo. Ronaldo's too expensive, and he's been gash this tournament. He's been absolute rubbish this entire tournament. Even when he's on pitch for 2.5 hours during a match, he's still barely broken 10 points. So he's not worth it. So I've gone with Gareth Bale. Even though I'm tipping Portugal to win, Gareth Bale is going to have 4 hours to accumulate some points in that match. and he will do. So Gareth Bale up front.
All right, Jamie, forwards over to you. Did you take the golden abs?
No, I've gone for the player that's going to score Wales' goal in this game.
Oh.
The most sought-after free agent left in the competition, Hal Robson-Kanu.
What?
Runs the channels well, which I'm sure people love to say about him. Confidence very high after that Cruyff turn and lovely finish against Belgium. And he's got like 8.3 fantasy points per game at the Euros. But I think if he doesn't score, this is going to be an absolute disaster. But I think he does. And also I think he'll be low owned just because Bale and Ronaldo will take, and he's quite expensive as well.
How much is he?
Here I've got 7,900 written,
So
but
you're around there.
I don't think he's that much.
Okay.
I think he's high enough that you wouldn't consider him though.
Robson-Kanu?
Yeah.
He's pushing 7, I think.
That's what I'm sure he's up there. So I think he's high enough that you wouldn't consider him, and I think there is point potential there because, as Edo said earlier, the Portuguese have got mistakes in them at the back, and why not Robson-Kanu? He did it. He's done it twice in the tournament already. And Nani for 7,900.
Whoa! You were just saying that he was 3 years.
What, Nani?
Over? Yeah.
No, I'm happy with Nani.
Oh, you're happy with Nani? Okay.
Yeah. 14.4 fantasy points per game at the Euros. More reliable than Ronaldo. 3.8 shots per game, which is up there alongside the Bales and the De Bruyne. It's not on the Ronaldo level, but it's high enough, especially against this defence, which is going to have either James Collins or Jazz Richards in it, and they are very second-rate defenders. And I think the whole team is going to be, they're going to be up for it, but the Ramsey being missing is huge as well. And I think, again, the prospect of extra time, Nani's, I think, played almost every minute so far. especially of the extra time games. If it gets into extra time, get another 30 minutes of points free.
Which people are predicting there might be another Portuguese extra time. Now, of course, when you're rounding out your 8-man roster for 50,000, you have one utility player. I'm going to ask these guys, who's your utility guy? Why did you choose him? Who do we have? Jamie, it seems like I'm counting it up, it seems like you may have saved some money.
Yeah,
he's big on your utility.
Well, I've kept this guy back because Germany are playing on Thursday, and it's Thomas Muller, 8,300. I think the fact he plays through the middle this is when his goals will come. He's due a goal. He hasn't scored in 5 games. He doesn't usually go for longer than that without scoring a goal. The French defence isn't very good, and he's a goal machine. He's showed that this season. And with the supply of Ozil, Draxler, Goetze, Cruz, he's going to score at least 2 goals.
Goal machine. Goal machine, love it.
Bold. He's never scored at the Euros.
Why not now?
He
could end up top
It's
scorer.
going to be another answer to a pub quiz.
2 now, 3 in the final.
All right, Edo, who have we got as your utility?
I've done this because I've often tended to pick my teams according to how I think the games will go and not pick players from the teams I don't think will do well. However, Renato Sanchez at 4,800 is a scandalously good price, considering how he's one of Portugal's difference makers. How is he still so cheap? He scored against Poland. Yes, there was a little bit of a deflection, but he was making those dangerous runs. And this is effectively against the 2-man midfield, which was defending a lot, and yet he still found space. That was wonderful. And I think, yeah, if someone's going to score against Wales, it could very well be him. I really love him.
All right, Andy, take us home. Who's your last guy? Who have you got to fill out your roster?
I nearly went with Sanchez, but I've gone with Cedric Suarez. He's been really good, points-wise. I think he's double figures every match. It's probably because he does play for 33% longer than any other fullback in the tournament. But as the games get stretched, I mean, we saw it in the last game against Poland. I noticed his points racked up as the game went on. As the game gets stretched, he just bombs forward and he gets lots of crosses in. And so it is 4.8 thousand and relatively cheap.
And relatively cheap. And that's what you do on DraftKings. You got 8 players, $50,000. It's the semis of the Euros. You could win big during the Euros Championship. All you have to do, go to DraftKings.co.uk, or if in the US, go to DraftKings.com. Put together your lineup. You could win big during the Euros. Welcome to the big time.